promise you I know where I've been.
Hey everyone, we meet again. So this is a part 2 of the random and unpopular opinions video that I did back then. I will attach the first video on the iCard that will appear on the screen right now. This time the opinions are going to be quite chaotic, so make sure you buckle up. And if you have differing opinions to what I'll be mentioning, I'd like you to share them in the comment section below. And kindly, when putting out your comments, do not challenge the person, challenge the argument, and make it simple and straight to the point. Anywho, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. So we shall get started. I have them written down in this notebook, so I'll be referring to them while looking at it. The first one being that the chocolate Ferrero Rocher is quite boring. And this is coming from someone who has consumed like different types of chocolates my whole lifetime. I've consumed Toblerone, I've consumed Gailian, I've consumed Lindt, what else? Quality Street. Ferrero Rocher is one of the most boring chocolates. I know everyone like right now and their grandmother, when they get flowers or something, you see a box of Ferrero Rocher. It's just a basic piece of chocolate. If you look at it, it's a round piece of chocolate. At the center is the hazelnut. The second layer is like the chocolate wafer, and then the outermost layer is like solid chocolate with chopped hazelnut pieces, and that's it. And I keep wondering, like, the taste is just there, nothing is the same. Even for like the other two options, which is Raffaello, the white chocolate of the Ferrero Rocher, and the Noir, which is the dark chocolate one. Same case, Raffaello is actually more of a white chocolate truffle with coconut shavings on the outermost layer. So even if you eat it, like there's no like psych towards it when you're consuming it, because it's basic. Look at even like Quality Street. When you get like a box of Quality Street chocolate, you know you're actually going to, you know, enjoy even from the sight of it. Toblerone, from the minis to the normal sized bars, they have the fruit and nut, they have the white one, they have the milk chocolate one, and they have the dark one. And the sweetness is literally balanced quite well with the almond nougat, and the fact that it's shaped based on like the Swiss Alps, that's really good, like for sure. And also Gailian, the chocolates are shaped according to like the seahorses and like seashells and everything. Like such things really make, you know, the consumption worthwhile, let alone even the visual presentation of it. But Ferrero Rocher is very basic. I just find it just there. I'd even rather prefer Milka to Ferrero Rocher. That's just my own opinion though. And I think, guys, let's open up our, you know, our eyes to more options of candy bars and chocolates, because this is the most basic chocolate for sure. Hi, the second one, Afrobeats being gentrified, and the fact that your favorite Afrobeat song does not require a remix. I know I'm going to get the absolute smoke for this, but hear me out. For example, when Rema released Calm Down, the track itself got like major reception. It was so good, like major, you know, Western and Asian countries were vibing to it quite well. Kidogo kuna remix na Selena Gomez, which personally I found it very unnecessary. Second of all, Kulosa had a remix, you know, Oxlade together with Camila Cabello, which was very pointless. Another one, Omale did a song with Justin Bieber, and I'm like, seriously? Like, don't you believe like your music is already going to like go through, you know, the Western market, the Asian markets? Because I know right now Rema is just being, you know, being obsessed over in India for sure. Even like around the World Cup season, the song was being played in the stadium. So those remixes were necessary, let alone even the Peru remix by Fireboy and Ed Sheeran. And then he had another remix with, I think was it Blast and 21 Savage. I was like, There are songs which, for sure, when they have a remix, it even makes the song, way better compared to the original. But most of the times, it is not the case. And I kind of feel as if, especially with Afrobeats, artists, they have like the major backing of, the labels. For example, Ashake is, he's signed under YBNL, which is owned by Olamide. And you'll find that his songs are so upbeat. He sings in Yoruba and Pidgin, and he puts emphasis on where he's from. And most of the times, I've never seen him like doing like a remix with a Western music artist, and his songs perform very, very well. The likes of Wizkid. I know he did Come Closer with Drake, but that was not a remix. That was the original song on its own, and that was actually Wizkid's song. So already Wizkid had imprinted himself, like especially in the UK, Afrobeat scene. That was like around 2013, 2014. So that already created like a major, footprint for the rest of the Afrobeat, singers to push themselves out there. The likes of Burna Boy, the likes of Davido, who like quote unquote took over it, like spanned the US. So the songs did quite well. And then now, like, this new generation, Afrobeat artists be like, they want to have collaborations with the likes of Justin Bieber, Camila Cabello, Selena Gomez, Ed Sheeran. Don't get me wrong, it's good to have like collaborations, but if you look at it in the long run, most of your tracks do not require remixes, because the numbers on the original track are very, very solid, especially now the fact that we've now turned to digital streams. And the issue of, putting emphasis that we need to work with them, yet we actually do have the power to, work with ourselves and, to better ourselves. I kind of feel as if artists need to take a step back and be like, you know what, maybe you can do it, kivye to our own way. Don't necessarily need like validation from outside, and that's just about it. Maybe you guys like the remixes more than I do. I personally was not feeling it at all, and yeah, I just think people just need to stick to their lane, and generally that's it. Higher, the third one. The Ozempic Wegovy shortage will create a massive, how do we say? Like, what's the word? Oh my days. It will create like a more of a massive outcry, since these drugs are being used by type 2 diabetes patients. There was a story that came out of the US a couple of months back, since there was a shortage of these two drugs. These two drugs are used to, to control weight and blood sugars in type 2 diabetes patients. So celebrities, were using it in order to lose weight drastically so that they could look good for award shows, let alone like it's just for a short term thing. The patients themselves, they cannot access these drugs, and they're not even covered by insurance. I've read multiple stories. I will attach some articles and videos about the drug. It kind of makes me, kind of sad that humanity on its own is just becoming quite ruthless, because why would you create a medicine shortage just because a certain influencer, a certain public personality is using it just so that they could just look good or fit into a certain, clothing item? It makes me disgusted, to say the least. And that drug cannot work on its own unless you've incorporated like the right diet and the correct workout regimen. So when the likes of Akina Elon Musk, Kim Kardashian, Mindy Kaling, and it even allegedly Oprah is using it as well, like so many US and Western, public personalities, are using this drug, and majority of those people don't even have diabetes. They don't have heart disease. They don't have hypertension. So when you eventually use these drugs and you don't have such things, what happens in the long run? That's food for thought. And then I saw a certain aesthetic clinic here in Kenya stating that they have the drug in the market, and you'll be able to lose weight in a couple of, like, the next 2 weeks. You look snatched and everything, and the drug is around 120,000. That sounds very suspicious, because you start, playing with people's psychology and be like, oh, I can look good in this, short time span and look snatched and look all glam and everything just because I've lost weight. Time and again, the person, who's getting these shots of this said drug, you don't have diabetes, as I've stated. You don't have hypertension. You don't have heart disease. And you genuinely want to use these drugs just to, get, the physical appeal of it. Like, make it make sense. And mind you, these two drugs are being produced by the big pharmaceutical company Novo Nordisk. So I don't know, like, is the drug being mishandled along the way? Because by the time in Africa market, Kenyan people are now being, actually abusing it for the wrong reasons. Makes me wonder, are there genuinely, strict guidelines on how this drug is entering into the, the drug market? And I know for sure, you might have the 2 seconds of I look good, I look snatched, but in the long run, you'll end up developing diabetes. You'll end up developing heart disease. And mind you didn't have it back then, so which brings another problem on its own. So this has made type 2 diabetes patients be sidelined, because first of all, the drug is out of stock. Second of all, the drug is not even being covered by insurance, and the people who genuinely need it cannot access it. But the people who don't even necessarily need it, they're the ones who can access it easily. Think about it for sure. Higher, the last one. This really grinded my gears for sure. And I know most people have seen it right now. For those who don't, I will leave a link to the video in the description box below. This is Erica Mena will actually appear on the Love and Hip Hop franchises in other seasons to come, not necessarily next season. And what do I mean by this? There was an episode where both Spice and Erica Mena got into it, because apparently Erica Mena said that Spice mentioned about her kids, yet Spice was actually questioning about her parenting, and this led to Erica Mena calling her a monkey, wishing her death, upon her, and making monkey noises. That completely threw everything, off balance. Guys online were really getting to it. It became like more split, that people are actually siding Erica Mena for calling Spice a monkey, and which is a racial slur. And the fact that black women were actually on Erica's side makes me wonder, like, do you genuinely like mnajipenda kweli? And I think they didn't even do a reunion. They had a sit down round table with the likes of Jock, Sierra, who's this lady, Yandi, Scrappy was also even on Erica's side, then only to find out that what had happened. Eventually he flipped and went to Spice's side. So what do I mean by this? Erica eventually will appear on future franchises, whether it's the family reunion, whether it's in Miami, but she will not appear on Atlanta. And the interesting bit is, when people are saying, oh, Spice attacked her and everything, what people are actually forgetting, so many people have questioned her parenting. Not Stevie J, not Scrappy himself, like around 6 people across the seasons on both cities in New York and Atlanta. And the fact that now she really had to stoop low because Spice is a dark-skinned Caribbean woman are you really a human being? Because in Spice's words, she said she didn't come out a loser in that situation. She actually showed that Erica Mena is, point blank a racist. And it really, bothered everybody. And also the fact that Erica Mena sent a statement through TMZ. Or she was apologizing, she knows that she has mixed kids, or she's Dominican, and I think what other country was she from apparently. That does not justify you calling somebody a monkey just because your kids are mixed. Because for those who don't know, Erica Mena got married to Safari, who was actually Nicki Minaj's ex. The marriage didn't end well, ended up divorcing, and she was justifying the fact that her kids are mixed, which is very wrong. Whether your kids are mixed or not, it does not give you the space and the audacity to call someone a racial slur, even in the heat of the moment. You'd rather even hold your tongue, walk away, come back when you officially calm down and sober enough to hold a conversation. But the fact that she called Spice a racial slur, personally thinking, it was very distasteful. But my concern also comes in with the fact that Mona Scott, during the shooting of that episode, she let it slide completely. That means the editing team, the producing team were quite well aware of what had happened during the shooting. So, which makes me wonder, did Mona Scott actually take advantage of that situation and made sure that that episode was actually aired and got reactions and people conversing on social media? I genuinely don't know what was her true intention with that episode, but they had so many opportunities. Because back then, when Love and Hip Hop Miami was starting, Amara La Negra actually had the same situation with Young Hollywood and Veronica Vega. That would have been the perfect time to have that round table, but I think they really didn't look into that. The fact that it had gotten to a point where Spice was called a racial slur is when now they're like, okay, the light bulb is officially switched on. We need to get this sorted as soon as later. And I feel sad for Spice that she had to go through such situation. And everybody knows colorism and racism, quote unquote, is one of the same thing, which is correlated. And for her to go through that on such a public space, I hope she forgives herself and she genuinely heals from everything, and she's able to get back into the studio, create music, and do what she genuinely loves, because it's very tough, to say the least. Anywho, that's just about it. If you have any differing opinions, I'd like to hear them in the comment section below. And kindly, I will reiterate, challenge the argument and not the person. So that's just about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.